ready to question everything? Tune in.
Energy, gotta blow your mind. Buckle up, it's one of a kind. Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. As always, I'm your host, Robert.
Host Crew.
And tonight, crew, we are revisiting part 2 of the Hollywood's weird occult fascination with all kinds of different crap.
The darkest side of Hollywood X-Men at your disposal, everyone. So bear witness to what we're going to cover tonight.
Okay, but before we go into this, we got to talk Artemis.
Yeah.
Are these moon photos that are coming out? Are they real?
I haven't seen them.
Okay.
Before you finish, I do know that 2 of them are from casting agency.
So, to my knowledge, they took pictures of the dark side of the moon and sent it back.
Okay, I gotta see that. Even though I don't believe it.
This looks so fake. Oh my god. It looks so fake. Oh Jesus. Is this real? This is not real. We do not live in a real world, I swear to God.
Okay, yeah, that is so AI generated. It's not even funny.
This is on MSN.
And you know what's even funnier?
Look at this. Is that real?
That's not real.
That doesn't even look real.
No. And you want to know something even funnier? When's the last time we've seen the moon in the sky?
When's the last time?
Yeah.
Is the moon not out right now?
I haven't seen it in a long, like 2 weeks now. Like, I could go look right now and tell you. Yeah, no moon. No moon.
Bro. Do you see this photo right here?
Yeah.
Like, and so apparently the moon, Earth looks like the moon to the moon. Like, make this make sense. How come the moon looks so huge and we all know that Earth is 10 times bigger than the moon?
Right.
So why is the moon look so gigantic and Earth looks so small here?
Right.
Like, shouldn't Earth be gigantic?
Yes. So here's the thing with them doing this crap and the fact that they got two astronauts that are supposed to be from a casting agency, and then they clearly showed a picture of all four of them together, right? You know how
Yeah.
they're in that little how one guy looking like he's laying down, floating up,
Yeah.
and then you got the other three just standing all next to each other.
Right.
Well, behind them, they showed a picture of a green screen right behind them, and here's what's even funnier: the fact that one guy admitted that they're from a casting agency, like accidentally said that when he was doing the news, right? Basically proved that they're not in outer space.
Apparently, most of the video that has been sent back from Artemis, we can prove is CGI, computer generated imaging. And the reason why they can prove that is because some of the objects that are floating around have a red dot that appear on the packaging that disappears in different shots.
Mhm.
And the guy pulled up CGI, a CGI like program, and showed that the only way that you can track the CGI and make it move the way you want it to do is to put red dots in places on objects so that the computer program can track the object and move it to where it needs to go. Well, that's basically what we caught on camera. Like when they sent some videos back for us all to see, some of those red dots are visible,
Mhm.
which is absolutely insane. But I don't know, man. You think they're up there?
No.
You think they went? Do you think they went off on that basket?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. You know, they screwed up. They screwed up so bad with Epstein and the Epstein files that they had to start World War III and do another fake moon mission just to distract everybody.
Yeah.
Do you realize that? They started World War III and another fake moon mission.
Yep. Crazy, bro. The last time that they faked a moon, situation was around during Vietnam.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. And Julie, no, you're right. It must be a part of Hollywood. Well, it is. The moon landing was filmed in a Hollywood basement.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys have listened to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Go listen to that song Californication. Actually, I'll do y'all a favor here and I'll just pull it up for you and I'll read you the lyrics. I can't sing it because then we'll get pinged by YouTube, believe it or not. I can't even make the melody of it or YouTube will freaking kick me off. But here there we go. And this is a song that came out a long time ago, by the way. And it came out in like, when did it come out? Can you look that up real quick? When did Californication by the Chili Peppers come out?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get my trusty AI app real quick.
But anyways, while Crew is doing that, I'm going to show you guys the lyrics to Californication, and then you can tell me what you think. So this is what it says. Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. and little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world and all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east at least. It's settled in the final location. Flat Earth. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin or is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft, dream of Californication. Marry me, girl, be my fairy to the world, be my very own constellation. A teenage bride with a baby inside, getting high on information. And buy me a star on the boulevard, it's Californication. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. And Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away. It's Californication.
Okay.
Born and raised by those who praise control of the population. Well, everybody's been there, and I don't mean on vacation. Destruction leads to a very rough road, but it also breeds creation. And earthquakes are to a girl's guitar, they're just another good vibration. And tidal waves couldn't save the world from Californication. Pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Sicker than the rest, there is no test, but this is what you're craving. Yeah. Yeah. So, thoughts?
Okay. Well, before we get on the thoughts, here's what I got to pull up. All right. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have a song called Californication, which was released in June 2000 as a single from their album of the same name, Californication, which came out on June 8th, 1999. There's also another song, Danny California, which might be what you're thinking of. It was released on April 28th, 2006. It's a single from their album, Stadium Arcadium.
No, I was talking about Californication.
I know, but you know how
Yeah,
they
no, I know the AI, but yeah, no, Californication is so interesting because they told everybody. They told everybody about Epstein. They told everybody about the control of the media and of the Hollywood elite. They told everybody about the moon landing being faked and fraud, and then they tell everybody that that Hollywood and celebrities are just waging war against normal people and trying to turn back aging. Crazy.
Oh wow, I gotta read this, bro. So basically, this makes 9 missing scientists. This is from my buddy Drew, right? Who sent this in a group chat.
Oh yeah, all the scientists that got offed.
Mhm. So shocking! Another top American scientist, 59 years old, Michael David Hicks, a research scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory,
Propulsion.
JPL, yeah, thank you, has joined the growing list of mysterious deaths and disappearances among high-level scientists, according to the Daily Mail. Hicks, who worked at JPL from 1998 to 2022 and authored over 80 scientific papers on comets and asteroids, passed away on July 30th, 2023, with no cause of death ever made public and no record of an autopsy. The Daily Mail, while there have been no public allegations of foul play, Hicks' case marks the ninth person with ties to America's space or nuclear secrets who has died or mysteriously vanished in recent years, which has
How convenient.
set off alarm bells among U.S. national security experts. Moreover, three of these scientists had close ties to Hicks, as all of them worked at the Jet Propulsion Lab.
Propulsion.
Propulsion, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Or participated in NASA missions there. Monica Riza, JPL's new director of Materials Processing Group, vanished without a trace in June 2025, just months after beginning her tenure at the NASA lab. That makes 9 missing scientists.
Yep. And they're not missing. They're probably, that's probably what happened. But the real question is who did it? Who? Them. Who did that?
Right.
Well, I think we all know who did that. The people that don't want the alien information getting out. But this does tie into what we're talking about tonight. A lot of these Hollywood elitists have ties to what you call the Illuminati or the Illuminati. Basically, the Illuminati is supposed to run the world or run at least the music industry in Hollywood in America. I heard recently that specifically in Hollywood, what they do is they curse movies. Have you heard this theory? So basically, a bunch of people will get together in a room, and there will be for instance, Roman Polanski, the guy that did the Poltergeist. Do you remember? Or no, Steven Spielberg. Sorry, not Roman Polanski. Steven Spielberg, guy that did the Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
He, everybody on his film set, including the main character, like all had horrible things happen to them. The little girl who was a main character died.
Yep.
And basically the theory is that they know what they're doing and they're calling forth these entities that they're calling forth these entities that basically can grab a hold of the movie, curse it, and then when they release the movie, all other copies of the cursed movie are also cursed. So when you watch that movie or somebody else watches that movie, it can actually affect your everyday life.
No comment.
Satanism, bro.
I know.
Luciferianism. It's
Oh,
real.
I know. And you want to know something that can relate to that?
What?
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
The movie series. And I will say this, because when I watched every single one of them, right?
Yeah.
I tell you, over the years, my life's gotten more and more hectic by the minute. Every single time I watch those movies.
Dude, it's weird because when certain energy is put into, say, like a movie or a song, like for instance, like Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
Right.
The energy put into that song is amazing. Like I listen to that song and I just click with it and it can stay in my head for hours and hours and hours. But I'll tell you, with songs like Stairway to Heaven, play that motherfucker backwards. Listen to what it actually says. They're literally in multiple different lines. I mean, I don't know why, but when you play that song backwards, he literally says, "Hail Satan, my sweet Satan, sold my soul," blah 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 blah, all this other crap inside of the song. And that's not bullshit. Go play that song backwards. Same thing with some of the Beatles albums. You can play that shit backwards and literally it has a message.
Well, you want to know something interesting?
What?
What one movie did Jack Black come out with that makes complete total sense about each musician?
What are you talking? School of Rock?
No.
What?
Okay. Tenacious D.
Oh, Tenacious D. Well, that's like ultra parody of satanic Luciferian music, which I actually love because they
See,
had that whole battle, the whole guitar battle or whatever with the devil. I loved that.
well, if you noticed, right now, Jack Black and his friend, right, were come across a guitar pick. The guitar pick could make you play a guitar so smoothly, right?
Hmm.
And that same guitar pick, specific different guitarists from different specific 80s rock bands like AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all those bands, right?
Hmm.
Had the same exact guitar pick and could play so smooth. And that guitar pick was made by Lucifer himself. And that goes with this topic so well because, like you said, Luciferian and Satanism. The fact of that matter, if you think about it, a lot of musicians, rock bands more specifically, the singers and the ones who play the instruments sold their soul and became so skilled in music.
I mean, maybe,
Well,
but
not just well, here's the thing, bro. It's been going on since like the century, many centuries. Like, okay, for example, the time of the
oh, I know, Elmsta. I know that back music comes from Aleister Crowley. That's why it's satanic. That's why
well,
it's Luciferian.
actually, hold on. Actually, hold on, and not just Crowley. No, we can't just go with that particular person. Way back in the times of like let's say 1920s, 1930s, right?
Uh huh.
The time of the blues and the jazz.
Yeah.
So we got Crossroads, right?
Yeah.
This one particular African American male, right, goes to the crossroads, digs up a hole, puts something in the hole, summon Lucifer himself, just so he could become so skilled in his music.
Are we talking about Jimi Hendrix?
No, 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 no. Okay, so you remember that one country song that where the country guy's talking about where he played against the devil?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
That's oh my goodness. The oh my goodness. It's the fiddle song. It's about the been battling the devil with the fiddle, and Johnny was his name. I don't remember it's something band. I
right.
Oh my
See,
god. Like they
see,
literally have band in the name, but I
yeah,
can't think of the name of the band.
see, that is a similar example right there. See, basically, this has been going on a lot longer than Aleister Crowley or any other,
Well,
rock band.
it's been going on since the belief of God.
Yes. And basically, the Crossroads thing, right? That right there is a perfect example how a lot of musicians, like specific musicians, specifically the blues and the jazz players, got so skilled in music with their instrument playing and their voice.
They like Stevie Ray Vaughan and BB King and all those guys, and the dude who played The dude that played all those instruments, and then Nat King Cole, and
Mhm.
all those high profile jazz and classical and R&B stars of those days. Yes, thank you, Julie. The Charlie's Daniels band.
And also, here's another weird little thing, similarity. Now, there's been specific musicians, right, who at the age of 27,
Yeah, the 27 Club.
the 27 Club, all died, were cursed, and had a white Bic lighter in their pocket.
Yeah, that's like what who all was part of the 27s Club? You had you who was the ones that like started it? I always forget it. It's how old was Mac Miller when he died?
I'm looking up. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So, the 27 Club refers to famous musicians who died at age 27, often under tragic circumstances. The myth claims Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Kurt Cobain had white Bic lighters when they died, supposedly bringing bad luck. However, this is likely a myth. Bic lighters weren't widely available until 1973, after Hendrix, Joplin, and Morrison's death. Cobain's autopsy showed he had multiple colored lighters, not white ones. The 27 Club includes musicians like Brian Jones, Hendrix, Joplin, Morrison, Cobain, and Amy Winehouse, who struggled with addiction and mental health.
Yeah,
And you asked about Mac Miller?
yeah. It says, well, how old was he when he died? Because he OD'd on cocaine and fentanyl.
He was 26.
Oh, didn't make it. He didn't even make it to the 27th Club.
He
You
died
you
from an
know that I knew
accident
Mac
on
Miller
Club River.
personally. You know that I knew Mac Miller personally, right?
Oh yeah, we both did.
Yep.
And you want us to? You want
we
us?
didn't like hang. We didn't like hang out, but we knew
No,
him.
but we knew him. We he was like an acquaintance.
Hmm.
But you want to know how he died?
Yeah, it was cocaine and fentanyl, and whoever was in the house with him at the time. Basically, when the police showed up, they had completely cleaned out the house. It was one of the weirdest things they had ever seen. Was like there was nothing on the tables. There was like all of the
Alcohol
money
too.
was gone. Yeah, like, but basically they said when they entered Mac's estate, like literally it looked like it was untouched. Like somebody walked in there and cleaned up the place while Mac was dead.
And you want to know where it was at?
Where?
San Fernando Valley, California.
Yeah.
September 7th, 2018.
And how old was Juice World?
Juice World?
Was Juice World 28 or 26? Or was he 27?
Okay, hold on. All right. Juice World was 21 years old
Oh, he was only 21.
when he passed away on December 8th, 2019. He died after suffering a seizure at Chicago's Midway Airport. The cause of death was later determined
Swallowing
to be
drugs.
an acute oxycodone and codeine intoxication.
Yeah, so when he got off the plane, he knew he was being arrested, so he ate all of his drugs.
Mm.
That's exactly what he did, and he died in custody. But Man,
But no, either way, though, the this is a really bad thing, right? A lot of musicians dying in their 20s.
yeah, sure, but that can be equivocated to drug use, to depression, to getting involved with like gambling, thugs, mafia, BS like that. I mean, and then there's always the chance that they made a deal, they walked back on that deal, and they got taken out. There's always a chance because look at Michael Jackson, for instance. I truthfully believe to this day the reason Michael Jackson died was because of how much of Sony he owned. I'm
Well,
just going to be honest. Like, I
right.
think Sony wanted Michael Jackson dead. I think they did. I can't prove it, but I think they did.
Well, technically, I believe it was more the doctor.
Well, the doctor was just doing what he was told, but yeah, the doctor gave him some kind of what was that? What was the name of the drug? It was propanol, I think. It was propanol, but it was like to sleep, and he gave Jackson too much, and Jackson never woke up.
Right. And also,
But you're not even supposed to take propanol when you go to sleep.
right.
But no, Elmston, my guess is heavy metal. They probably listen to heavy metal, and believe it or not, they probably listen to things like pop and punk and even probably hip hop because you can put any message into a song, absolutely any message.
And here's the thing, though: a lot of those um, music places, the studios mainly, and the ones who own them, right?
Yeah,
There's a lot of corruption in them, and it goes back to, for example, if we remember correctly, the times of Tupac and Notorious. If you remember correctly, that
yeah.
that one dude who supposedly was behind Notorious's death and Tupac's. What was
P
his name?
Diddy.
No, not P Diddy. It was somebody else. It was
P
somebody else.
Diddy.
What was his name? What was his name? Um,
Suge Knight.
that's the one.
Yeah, Suge Knight definitely was had something to do with Pac.
And he was a really, really badly corrupt. Yeah, P Diddy had some influence in it for sure, but Chuck Knight more.
Yeah,
Because,
Suge was crazy.
oh yeah, he wasn't just crazy. He was he was like the worst of the worst, and he like they talked about how he was hard to work with.
Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he even like beat up people and like stole stuff and did lots of drugs, possibly murdered people, talked about would like walk around with his like entourage and like multiple shootings happened around him. Do you know when he got out of prison the first time or the only time he got out of prison, he went to the set of that movie Compton or whatever, NWA went to that set and he ran over somebody. Did you know that? And then he immediately got sent back to prison.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Suge Knight was also the same guy that told the world that on Jimmy Kimmel's show that you give him that he was said something like, you sometimes you got to give him that easy E. And Jimmy Kimmel was like, what? And he's like, sometimes you got to, give him that easy E. And he was talking about AIDS. Because supposedly, allegedly, Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with AIDS, and that's how he killed him, or Eazy-E. But nobody really knows if that's factual or not. But Suge Knight is tied to a whole bunch of murders. Whole bunch. That dude's a gangster. Gangster rap was glorified CIA rap. That's what it was. All right, so crew, let's hit these videos.
Iceberg of my own design. The Celebrity Conspiracy Theory Iceberg is an iceberg of my own design, where we cover celebrity conspiracies ranging from goofy oddball theories all the way down to the depths of the most disturbing secrets hidden by Hollywood's elite. Today, we'll be adding 4 new theories to the iceberg, so let's get into it. In an interview with Howard Stern in 2017, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan made a bizarre claim. He claimed that he had personally witnessed somebody transform or shapeshift into something else.
While he was having sex with them, by the way. And you want to know who that person was?
Who?
Tila Tequila.
Oh, wow.
And I know that for a fact because he's talked about it.
Just say I was with.
Oh, and also, do we want to acknowledge the fact that Billy Corgan is wearing a hat that says Zuzu's, and that is probably a nod to the demon Pazuzu? Just want to point that out here.
Right.
Somebody once, and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
You were talking to someone. They said to you, look, something's going to happen here.
Mhm.
I'm going to morph into something else.
Imagine you're doing something and suddenly you turn around and there's somebody else standing there.
He didn't go into graphic detail, but was adamant about what he saw. Corgan stayed vague, but the implications were clear. He believed he had encountered a shapeshifter, something that could pass as human, but wasn't. And in the most frustrating way possible, he's always kept the most juicy details about this encounter a well-guarded secret.
You still standing by it?
Well,
Absolutely, I know it happened. In fact, it happened.
well, allegedly, I've heard it was Tila Tequila. Allegedly.
Right.
I don't know then. I thought that came from Corgan, but if Corgan's never stated it, from what I heard, it was he literally witnessed somebody change in mid-intercourse. And apparently what it is like either a demon or a reptilian.
Right.
And like basically during the moment of orgasm, it was like they changed. They shape-shifted. How insane, right?
Oh, yeah.
Twice, but I saw what I saw.
Right. You saw it. It's your reality.
That's what I'm saying.
The second time you saw a shapeshifter, where were you? Probably at Darcy's house.
It was the same. It was the same person.
Oh, it was.
This happened with the same person twice.
Billy, when will you announce who this person is so I can investigate? Seriously.
I wouldn't name names.
Can you give us something?
The person was naked.
Wait a second. Were you in bed with the shapeshifter? Were you making
I will
love?
tell you in confidence.
Holy mackerel. Now I'm with you. It was a woman. Are you saying it was a lover who actually
I
shapeshifted?
can no longer discuss this.
All right.
Stern pressed him, but Corgan wouldn't elaborate further. The story faded into the background, but to those familiar with shapeshifter legends, it was a chilling modern-day encounter. Now, believe him or not, I can't stand not knowing more about his story. One of the major details he doesn't reveal is what sounds like the woman's identity that apparently shapeshifted in front of him. And although this is extremely hard to believe, he doesn't really come off to me like he's lying. But I do find it interesting that he describes it as a horrible feeling and bad experience, because his story speaks back to a primal fear that basically goes back to the beginnings of humanity. Across every culture and every era, human beings have passed down stories of entities that mimic us, that walk like us, talk like us, but aren't us. These legends aren't just curiosities, they often carry an almost instinctual dread. There's something deeply disturbing about the idea of a human facade hiding something inhuman underneath. A more modern interpretation of shapeshifting appears as a central theme in David Icke's controversial but influential body.
Check out David Icke. That's my main man, David, there. That is the dude that only ever talks about reptilians.
Right.
Body of work within the conspiracy theory world. According to Icke, shapeshifters are a reptilian race, and the actual shapeshifting process isn't so much physical, but perceptual. Icke doesn't just say that reptilian shapeshifters exist, he claims they vibrate at a different frequency from humans, and that what we perceive as reality is more like a narrow radio band. In Icke's words, we're tuned into a very limited range of the electromagnetic spectrum. These reptilian entities allegedly exist in a nearby but adjacent frequency range, one that sometimes bleeds through into ours under certain conditions. Stress, electrical interference, ritual, even heightened human consciousness. The idea being that the transformation wouldn't always be intentional, but could be a momentary perceptual lapse, a slip of the mask. So what do you think about Billy Corgan's shapeshifting story? And have you ever seen anything you can't explain? Let me know in the comments below. And who knows, maybe you're not the only one who's seen what you've seen. Today's video is all about disturbing and unsolved mysteries, but you know what shouldn't be a mystery? Your health. That's why I need to tell you about this video sponsor, ZocDoc. My sponsor, ZocDoc, is a free website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with over 100,000 healthcare providers across almost every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more. You can filter for doctors that take your insurance, are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical need you may.
Just the fact that Elmster just said that God's gonna turn David Icke into a salamander at the end is getting me so bad.
Have and who are highly rated by verified patients. You can see their actual appointment openings, choose the time that works best for you, and click to instantly book your visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically occurring within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even book same-day appointments. You don't have to wait to talk to anybody. Just book your visit with a few clicks.
There you
So
go,
stop
crew.
putting off those doctor's
Go to
appointments and
ZocDoc.
visit ZocDoc.com
Go get your doctor's
/parasite. The
appointments
link's also in
taken
the
care of.
description to find and instantly book a visit to a top-rated doctor today. And thanks so much to ZocDoc for making this video possible. At around 9 a.m. on April 8, 1994, electrician Gary Smith arrived at his designated job site for the morning, a beautiful house on Lake Washington Boulevard in Seattle. He was there to wire the house with a new security system. However, when he entered the house, he stumbled upon a grisly scene. This was the very house where Kurt Cobain had allegedly taken his own life 3 days prior, and Gary had just discovered Kurt's body. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably heard theories and speculation that Kurt's wife, Courtney Love, allegedly took some part in Kurt's death. But there was another young, innocent life lost in the fallout surrounding Kurt's death. Her name was Kristen Pfaff, the bass player in Courtney Love's band Hole. Now, it is kind of important for Kristen Pfaff's case that you understand why some people think that Courtney Love had some kind of role in her husband's death. And this is all alleged, innocent till proven guilty. This has been litigated over and over again. But first and foremost, I think it's very important that many believe the motive is very, very clear. Courtney and Kurt's relationship was reportedly in ruins, and it's clear Kurt was headed for divorce and was rumored to be working towards having Courtney removed from his will. Divorce would see Courtney receive a lump sum of around $1 or $2 million. But if he was to pass away while they were married, she would be the sole recipient of over $50 million. So here are 3 details that would seem to allegedly make Courtney look very sketchy around the time of Kurt's passing. The note. An infamous note was found at the crime scene at Cobain's house in Seattle. The bulk of the letter is written in Kurt's signature cramped, compressed, tight lines, with the last 5 lines being in a bigger, almost looser style. The reason that this is important is that the only portion of the note that really seems like a goodbye or a letter are those last 5 lines, leading many to the idea that someone had just taken a piece of notebook paper Kurt had already written on and added to it and then had it left at the crime scene to dress the scene and make it look more like a. But the evidence of tampering got even more detailed and specific and heavily implicated Love, the backpack. On April 6, 1994, 2 days before Kurt's body was discovered, Courtney Love had dropped a backpack off with her lawyer, Rosemary Carroll, in LA. Kurt had died. Her client was acting erratically, and after 7 days, Rosemary became a little worried about the contents of this backpack. So she opened it. And of all the items in the backpack, 2 of them stuck out to Carol. One of those items appeared to be a handwriting practice sheet in which Courtney had allegedly been practicing writing letters of the alphabet over and over again in various kind of messy styles. And as you could have guessed, under any amount of scrutiny, this handwriting matches up with the last 5 lines of the letter found at the scene. The lines that make it seem like a goodbye letter. Now, it's important to know that based on what she knew of her client and Kurt's relationship, the financial implications, and what she saw in the press about Cobain's death, Love's attorney, Rosemary Carroll, was already very paranoid about Courtney, and this letter was like an epiphany for her. She felt as though this was proof that either Love, at the very least, somehow had foreknowledge of Kurt's death, had the scene tampered with, or may have had him killed. The other item that stuck out to Carol from Courtney Love's backpack was a note that simply read, "Get arrested," which is very sketchy, as just a few hours after Love had taken the backpack to her lawyer, she had an OD and was rushed to the hospital, where police found her with a needle and what they suspected were illicit substances. She was held in custody after she was released from the hospital, until the police realized that the illicit substances they had found on her person weren't illicit substances at all. And although Courtney may have OD'd, she wasn't actually in possession of anything illegal, so they let her go, and all the charges were dropped. But she just happened to have been in custody when Kurt passed. Obviously, being in jail is one of the strongest alibis you could possibly have. Now we move on to the fact that the first thing Love did after she was released from police custody and allegedly, ostensibly realized Kurt's body had not yet been found was make a call. An order, actually. She ordered a brand new security system for rush delivery to Kurt's house in Seattle. Yes, the reason for Gary Smith even being at the house in the first place to discover Kurt's body was Courtney Love, allegedly. Was that 3? I don't know. I kind of forgot I was doing a list. Dishonorable mentions. Courtney Love's band Hole dropped an album 1 week after Kurt's death and just 2 days after his funeral. The album was called Live Through This, and it would go multi-platinum. Nothing like your massive celebrity husband dying during your release window to push album sales. Courtney Love allegedly had an affair with the coroner that did the autopsy on Kurt Cobain, which is very suspicious considering that's the person in charge of determining both the manner of and cause of death being self-deletion. Now that we have some of Courtney Love's suspicious behaviors laid out, we can talk about Kristen Pfaff. Kristen was the bassist for Courtney Love's band Hole. She studied classical piano and cello and graduated from the University of Minnesota, majoring in women's studies. During her time in college, she worked as a counselor for SA victims and was an activist, drawing attention to violence against women on campus. Before she was involved with Hole or Courtney Love, she started a band called Janitor Joe. In 1993, Kristen Pfaff met Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain and moved to Seattle to join Hole in the studio to record 1994's Live Through This album. During her time in Seattle, she formed close friendships with Kurt Cobain and Eric Erlandson, a founding member of Hole, and according to some sources, she was introduced to heroin by Courtney Love, who would gift her close friends purses containing the substance and clean needles. Pfaff quickly became addicted and dependent on the substance. There were also rumors going around that Courtney Love was extremely jealous of Kristen, as she was kind of seen as this natural talent by everyone she met, and Love became totally enraged one time after Kurt gave Kristen a book. In February of 1994, Pfaff entered a detox center for her addiction, and just after Kurt's death, she left Hole and went on tour with her old band, Janitor Joe. During the spring tour, those around Kristen believed that she had really turned a corner and broken through her addiction, as she was glowing and seemed very happy. The tour ended, and Kristen decided to move back from Seattle to Minneapolis. She returned to Seattle to retrieve her belongings on June 14th, 1994, and 2 days later, she was dead. According to witnesses, Kristen had totally cut ties with Courtney Love and the band, and only returned to Seattle to retrieve her belongings, only staying a couple days while she packed her U-Haul with her ex-boyfriend Paul Erickson, who would be driving back to Minnesota with her. According to Paul, in this area of Seattle, there was a real problem with burglars breaking into cars, and so since all of Kristen's stuff was packed in the U-Haul, he actually decided to sleep inside the U-Haul overnight. At around 8:30 p.m., Paul saw Kristen's former bandmate, Eric Erlandson, enter the house and then leave about 20 minutes later. Paul thought this was a little strange, so he went back inside. Kristen was inside the bathroom, snoring with the door locked. And this was actually kind of a normal thing for Kristen, as even her parents would corroborate that she would often fall asleep during long soaks in the tub. Paul, unfortunately, probably trying to maintain the respectful ex-boyfriend energy, went back up to the U-Haul and fell asleep. Early the next morning, he re-entered the house to rouse Kristen and get them going on their road trip. But Kristen was still in the bathroom with the door locked. She had OD'd on a massive dose of heroin and passed away. Courtney and Eric's version would come up years later. According to Courtney Love, Eric was actually hanging out in the house with Paul, a total stranger, when Eric heard Kristen snoring in the bathroom. Eric then instructed Paul that if Kristen didn't come out within 20 minutes to call him, although Eric wouldn't be available, as directly after leaving Kristen's house, he went on a widely publicized first date with Drew Barrymore, and this was before cell phones, so he wouldn't have been able to be reached. Another perfect alibi, and according to Courtney and Eric's version of events, someone totally unrelated to them or the band was the one that brought Kristen these substances. Paul Erickson obviously disputes these claims and says that he never saw anyone other than Eric Erlandson with Kristen the night she died. According to Kristen, when meeting all the members of Hull, everybody, most of all Courtney, was very accepting and loving and positive. But the longer she was around, the darker things got. Pressure to do hard drugs and a lot of negativity and jealous rage coming from Courtney. After Kurt and Kristen became friends, of course, Courtney Love accused Kristen of trying to steal Kurt from her. So, is it possible that due to her closeness with Kurt and her inside knowledge, Anne was taken out the last possible chance that Love had while she was nearby in Seattle? Or did Kristen decide to chase the dragon one last time and overdo it? Many fatal ODs occur after a user has gotten clean and decides to use one last time, as their body can't tolerate the same amount that it used to. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that Kristen knew Courtney had something to do with Kurt's death, and that caused her to leave the band, and that Eric may have been instructed by Courtney to give Kristen a hot dose. Is that delusional and paranoid? Probably, but Kristen Pfaff deserves to be remembered. It's an absolute tragedy that she died so young, and there is definitely a lot of darkness and strange coincidence surrounding her and Kurt's deaths.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Heche. Ellen killed her.
On August 5th, 2022,
Allegedly.
53-year-old actress Anne Heche drove her car into a house in Los Angeles, which then burst into flames. 9 days later, she was pronounced brain dead.
Okay, I'm just going to say, though, when Anne Heche got pulled out of wherever she was, her car or whatnot, and they took her to the ambulance, there were too many weird freaking things that happened during this. First off, Anne Heche got out of the body bag, and the firefighters had to throw her back into the body bag. That's not even a joke. I'm sure he'll show the video, hopefully. If not, I'll pull the video up for all of you to see. Absolutely insane. And Ellen's tied to it somehow. I don't know how. I know that they were girlfriends. She's tied to it somehow, allegedly.
And taken off life support, as she was an organ donor and a compatible organ recipient had been found. But hold on, she drove her car into a house? Was she impaired or intoxicated? And what the hell was that? This is one of those tricky conspiracy theories that's found life over and over again on conspiracy forums around the internet. There is no clear apparent motive for something nefarious to have been done to Anne Heche, but something about the footage details, and narrative are so incredibly strange and off-putting. They just don't seem to add up. Anne Heche was also the ex of Ellen DeGeneres, which in the conspiracy community is enough to keep a theory alive for years and years. Apparently, Heche had been involved in a small collision with a garage, as seen in this video, with her leaving the scene. Although I'm unsure about the amount of time that passed between videos, the Mini Cooper can then be seen in a similar looking neighborhood, both on a cell phone video, on a doorbell camera video, driving down the road at a very high rate of speed. At the end of the doorbell video, you can clearly hear the Mini Cooper smash into the house, but many online users pointed out that you can clearly hear brakes in the video. It's easy to miss, as the experience watching the video is both shocking and over extremely quickly. But let's listen one more time. The car is making a very strange noise, and many online users claim that noise is only heard when someone is slamming on the brakes. But we'll talk more about that later. Firefighters arrived a few moments after the crash, and in another bizarre detail, it took 59 firefighters over an hour to even retrieve Heche from the crash. That seems like another anomaly. Over an hour after the crash, this is the Mini Cooper. Over the radio, it could be heard that the patient, Heche, is pressed up against the floorboard of the car during and after that blazing fire. The firefighters can be seen rolling what the media was reporting at the time to be most likely remains in a body bag. And after spending an hour in a burning car inside a burning house, that's exactly what you would expect to be inside the bag. Remains. I'm not going to show the next clip without a blur because it's basically someone's last moments, but it is so important in understanding what's so strange about this event. Shockingly, Anne appears to burst out of the body bag and reaches for the restraints at her ankle.
Yeah,
Anne is then
I'm going to show it.
pushed back down.
I'm going to show
into
it
the ambulance.
because it deserves to be shown. It deserves to be shown. I don't care that he says it's too crazy to show. It needs to be shown in order for y'all to understand that Anne Heche was not dead. She was not brain dead, and she was trying to leave, and they did not let her. And then she died. It's too weird.
This victim, it doesn't look that good, but yeah, it does look terrible. And we'll just see if maybe they're just moving him out of there, or if they put him in an ambulance. That's some sort of sign. But yes, so basically the activity that we were looking for, that that anxious or that quick moving, that was going on the other side of
Right
the
there.
vehicle. Oh my gosh. He's completely alive.
What the hell?
Yeah. What is that about?
Right.
What is that about?
Exactly.
I need answers now. Like, I know I won't get them, but I need answers now because she was not dead.
Right.
She was not dead. There's something very weird about this footage. There's something that just screams freaking disgusting and freaking murder. That's what it describes. Okay. And if you didn't know, what a lot of people don't know is that all cars nowadays, especially if it's over like the year 2001, your car has a microchip in it. Guess what? The CIA, the FBI, Mossad, any intelligence agency can take control of your car and make you run off a cliff, can take control of your car and drive you into the middle of an intersection. I believe that's what happened to Paul Walker.
Right.
I can't prove that, obviously, but I believe that's what happened to Paul Walker. I also believe that's what happened to Anne Heche. 120%. That is what happened to Anne Heche. And it didn't kill her. And then they tried to let her die in the Mini Cooper while it's burning up in the fire. And they left her in that vehicle for what they say, 20 minutes, 30 or an hour. An hour. She was left in the vehicle for an hour. They were hoping she would die. She still didn't die.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the Anne Heche thing. And everybody always wants to bring it back to Ellen killed Anne Heche. Well, we don't know if that's really what happened or not, but that whole scenario is so fucking crazy. And the video says it all. The video says it all. She was literally strapped into a body bag, which she managed to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. And you could tell she was kind of burnt.
Yeah.
When someone gives me unsolicited advice. When I was younger,
they found a file talking about them cloning celebrities. Merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil. En tant qu'acteur, chaque personnage.
I'm sorry, using a decoy, it sounds so ridiculous, but it works like a double. It's fantastic.
So apparently, according to the internet, Hollywood might be cloning celebrities. No, seriously, like actual clones. And the reason that people are talking about this right now is because a bunch of conspiracy accounts online are claiming that Jim Carrey is not the real Jim Carrey anymore. Yes, that Jim Carrey. According to these theories, the man who recently showed up at an award show in Paris might actually be a clone, a body double, or someone wearing prosthetics pretending to be him. And listen, normally when the internet starts yelling about celebrity clones, I just quietly log off and call my drag mother for emotional support because category is delusion. Now, Jim Carrey isn't even the first person that this has happened to recently. Selena Gomez is also getting dragged into the exact same conspiracy, and the internet thinks that they figured out the reason. Hollywood supposedly does this. So let's unpack it. Okay, so this whole thing really blew up last week. Jim Carrey showed up in Paris to receive the Caesar Award, which is basically the French version of the Oscars. Now, first of all, people were already shocked he even showed up because Jim Carrey has been pretty quiet for the past few years. He stepped away from acting and he barely even appears in public. So the moment he walked on stage, the internet was already convinced that wasn't him. And then things got weirder because during his speech, he started speaking French.
Merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil. En tant qu'acteur, chaque personnage que vous incarnez.
Now, normally that wouldn't be a big deal, but apparently Jim Carrey has never publicly spoken French before. So internet conspiracy detectives immediately noticed it. Like the second he started speaking, people online were already in the comment section losing it. One person said, either this is Jim Carrey or I just entered an alternate dimension where Jim Carrey is far more French than a baguette. And suddenly the internet started doing what the internet does best, overanalyzing everything. People started comparing old photos of Jim Carrey to the award show footage, and they were pointing things out like his eyes look tighter, his face shape looks different, and his smile looks slightly off, which, by the way, that could literally just be aging, but people were not having it because according to them, this was proof that Jim Carrey had been replaced. But the rabbit hole actually got a little deeper after the award show because a few days later, someone online seemed to take credit for the entire thing. On March 1st, a creator named Alexis Stone posted something on Instagram that immediately got people talking. The post had a photo of what looked like Jim Carrey at the award show, but the caption said Alexis Stone as Jim Carrey in Paris. Now, Alexis Stone is known online for something very specific. They're basically a master of celebrity transformations. Like seriously, they use prosthetics, latex, and movie-level makeup to transform into famous people, and the results are actually kind of terrifying because sometimes you genuinely cannot tell the difference. So when people saw the post claiming Alexis Stone as Jim Carrey, the internet immediately lost its mind because now they had something they believed was proof. Now, Jim Carrey himself has actually admitted before that he sometimes uses body doubles.
Yeah, no, I've done this a few times now, and it's using a decoy. I'm sorry, using a decoy. It sounds so ridiculous, but it works like a double. It's fantastic, like a Jim Carrey double. A Jim Carrey double. Oh yeah, that's amazing. So what I do is I send him off in one direction, sucks all the press in that direction, and I can just have my day. Whatever you want to do, wherever I want, totally unmolested. It's fantastic.
Which, by the way, is actually pretty normal in Hollywood. Actors use doubles all the time. But in this case, some people online are looking at it as if it's some kind of admission. Like now they're saying Jim Carrey is probably sitting at home somewhere laughing while everyone else is arguing about whether the man in Paris was him or not. Now, the cloning conversation didn't stop with Jim Carrey because recently another celebrity got pulled into the exact same rumor. And that person is Selena Gomez. Now, if you've ever been anywhere near TikTok lately, you might have seen this theory already because people online are claiming that Selena Gomez was secretly replaced years ago. Yes, apparently according to this theory, the real Selena Gomez passed away sometime after 2017. And the version of Selena that we see today is supposedly a clone or a replacement.
Is it the same person? Don't look like it. And now it was in the files, the JE files. What the f is going on?
Now, the reason conspiracy accounts keep pointing to 2017 is because that was the year Selena had a major health crisis. As y'all know, she was battling lupus and she ended up needing a kidney transplant. The surgery was extremely serious. Selena herself has talked publicly about how scary that time was.
I guess I got to the point where it was really kind of life or death. It's really hard to think about or even to swallow, especially now that as soon as I got the kidney transplant, my arthritis went away. My lupus, there's about a 3 to 5% chance it'll ever come back.
The internet didn't stop there. So back in 2013, Justin Bieber got a tattoo of an angel on his arm. Most people believe the tattoo was inspired by a 2012 Elle photo shoot Selena Gomez did. So fans always assumed that Justin's tattoo was just a tribute to his girlfriend at the time. Except the internet had a completely different interpretation because according to them, they think it was a memorial, like a tribute, as if Selena had already passed away.
The album cover to the song Rain, Justin Bieber has it tattooed right here with angel wings.
Now, once people started running with that idea, the theories only got more intense. Some conspiracy accounts started circulating a screenshot that allegedly came from the documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein. The screenshot supposedly includes a line that says, "decided about Selena." Now, the problem with this image is that it is completely unverified. No one has confirmed where it came from, and there is no evidence connecting it to Selena Gomez in any real way. But once that screenshot started spreading online, people immediately used it as proof of something bigger. And honestly, it didn't stop with just Jim Carrey or Selena Gomez, because once people started going down that rabbit hole, they began bringing up other celebrities the internet had accused of being clones too.
There's a file there investing billions into cloning and trying to clone celebrities, specifically Britney Spears at the time.
Now, we all know Britney has gone through a lot publicly, like a lot. Her 2007 breakdown was one of the most talked about celebrity moments ever. And after that, she spent years under a conservatorship that controlled a huge part of her life. So when fans started noticing changes in her behavior and appearance over time, some people online started saying she didn't seem like the same Britney anymore. But then something happened in 2016 that made the rumors spiral even more. Because hackers broke into Sony's music Twitter account and posted a tweet that said, "RIP at Britney Spears, hashtag RIP Britney, 1981 to 2016. The tweet was quickly deleted by Sony, but of course, once something like that hits the internet, people start making their own stories. They started saying that Britney had actually died on Christmas Day in 2016 and the industry was hiding it. Now, Britney isn't the only celebrity who has had this rumor follow them either, because recently people started saying the exact same thing about Jamie Foxx. Back in April 2023, Jamie Foxx had a serious medical emergency. The news was shared by his daughter, Corinne, but she didn't explain exactly what had happened. And Jamie disappeared from the public eye for months while he recovered. Then in July, Jamie finally came back online and posted a video updating fans.
So I didn't want you to see me with tubes running out of me and trying to figure out if I was gonna make it through.
Instead of just being relieved he was okay, people started saying Jamie Foxx had actually died during the medical emergency and had been replaced with a clone. Jamie actually addressed the rumor himself later that year, and he literally joked about it and told the audience that he's not a clone.
I'm not a clone. I'm not a clone. I know a lot of people were saying I was cloned out there.
But now I want to know what you think about all of this. Do you think these cloning theories are just internet chaos, or do you think something weird could actually be going on?
Thoughts?
You already know what I'm going to say. And I better not.
You know, I know somebody directly related to Britney Spears.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're cousins, like literal cousins. And I talked to him one time about Britney, and after about 2017, or he said, I think it's 2015. After about 2015, he stopped hearing from his cousin. He just never heard from her again. I'm not going to release that person's name, but yes, I know it to be a fact that he is Britney Spears' cousin. He has shown me the documentation, and the Spears family is directly related to their family. So that's weird. And you know, he used to always jump into the whole thing is like, is my cousin dead?
Right.
Crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Elmsted said his mom met Britney and she wasn't speaking English. That's funny. Britney's crazy. Well, guys, it has gotten kind of late tonight, so we will pick back up on this tomorrow. We'll be doing our part 3 of celebrity Hollywood weirdness. So tune in. If you enjoy this kind of content, tune in, because we're going to even go deeper. Also, that being said, here pretty soon, we're going to do an entire episode on Artemis and why we think it's fraudulent. So that's going to happen too in the next couple of, probably this weekend. If not this weekend, it'll happen next week. But that will be going down. And then possibility of a new interview also. I do not have confirmation yet, but this is a person who basically grew up in Kenya and wants to talk to us. So it's pretty cool. So we'll see if we can't get that hooked up, and we'll do an entire podcast on Kenya.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, guys, I love each and every one of you watching, even my haters, if I have any. And same thing with crew. Also, crew, what is this?
This is the Venmo link to the Robert and Crew page. To if you'd like to, not have to, donate so that way we can get stuff for the podcast, or so we can get travel costs for the podcast. Anything and everything for this is only for the podcast.
Yep. And as always, our favorite currency is share the show. If you know somebody who enjoys conspiracy theories, enjoys celebrity theories, enjoys any topic we go over, travel, all of it. If they enjoy it, share the show with them. Share it. All right, guys. With that being said, we're out of here. Good night and peace out from the Robert and Crew Show.
Who's out there? What's the plan? Are we pawns or the kings of the land?